I became a Christian at the age of 35, and I did so by examining the Gospels using the skill set I had as a detective. I knew how to evaluate eyewitnesses to determine if they were lying to me, and I tried to apply the same principles to the Gospel authors to see if they were telling me the truth about Jesus. After becoming a Christian, I started to serve in the local church and eventually became a youth pastor. And what I noticed is that there's a disturbing trend, and if you're a pastor, you know this is true as well. Our young people don't survive well in the college setting. It's just a fact. If you look at all the surveys that are out there, you will see repeatedly that young people walk away from the church in large numbers in their college years. And if you were to trace back where the first skepticism occurred, because most of these students, when polled, will tell you they walked away because of some form of intellectual skepticism. If you were to trace that back to see where that began, you would discover, for the most part, it begins in junior high. That was my experience also as a youth pastor, because I had both junior high and high school students. As I watched them walk away in their college years and I traced back where that skepticism began, I realized it was time for me to change my youth ministry. And I began to make the case every week for why Christianity was true from the evidence, in addition to what it is we believe as Christians. But I always thought, wow, wouldn't it be great if the students, when they first came to me, had some background in this and they weren't seeing this evidence for the first time, having never heard anything like it before? Wouldn't it be great if there was a resource out there that I could have given my parents, could have given the people in my ministry to help their younger brothers and sisters, so by the time they got to me, they were already familiar with the case and I could even take them another step. That's why I wrote a book called Cold Case Christianity for Kids. My book, Cold Case Christianity, kind of retraces my own spiritual journey, my own investigation. And I think that's completely appropriate for both adults and high school students. But I wanted to create a resource that would be available for young kids, 8 to 12, to prepare them before the questions even arise. That's what I hope Cold Case Christianity for Kids does. My wife Susie and I have crafted this book with over 70 illustrations, and it's part of a larger experience. If you log on to coldcasechristianityforkids.com, you'll see that there's a cadet academy that your kids can actually enter and trace along through the book, watching videos, downloading activity sheets, earning a certificate of graduation, the same way I did when I became a cadet prior to being a police officer. My hope is that this book will prepare young people to know enough about the case that by the time they get to high school, many of the objections they're going to hear, they will have already considered. They will already have an answer. I want your kids, before they even get to you, and their siblings to have enough information about the case for Christianity to become the best Christian case maker they can be. Visit coldcasechristianityforkids.com to get information about the book and how your students can begin the Cadet Academy.